This is a short video showing you how to use the North and Mid Cheshire area of the Ramblers Association mapping facilities. So I'm on the main page, the home page of that site, and if we go to the Maps Route Planner on the menus, you'll see an option See Map Plan Route, and you can choose where you want the map centered. I'm going to pick Frodsham and click the Go button, and up comes a map centered on Frodsham. Now there's certain common features of all these maps. One is they can be dragged, so you hold the left mouse button down and hold it down and move the cursor around, and that drags the map centered on the point where the cursor was. Or you can zoom the map in or out. I'll go into the right hand corner, there's a widget, the minus button zooms out, plus button zooms in, and you can zoom in again to a higher level, and this is the one to use for planning walks. And you've also got in the right hand corner a pan control, up, down, right, left. Going to the left hand corner, you'll notice there's a continuous display of the grid reference where the cursor is at any point. There's also a couple of controls to change the map style. You click on the map and you can change it to a different style. I'm going to stick with Ordnance Survey. You can change it to an aerial photograph if you want to, and you see the same scene but shown as an aerial photo, and you can zoom that in and out in precisely the same way as before. So I'll go back to the map. And one other thing to mention is that you can change the cursor style. At the moment it's a hand. If you hold the Alt key down, it turns to an arrow, and you can place points more accurately with that. So I'm going to show you how to plan a walk now. So the first thing to do is to get the map centered on your start point. So I'm choosing a start point here and click Start Track, green button left hand corner, top left hand corner, and it's telling me I've got to click my start point on the track. Now I'm holding the cursor down, so I've turned the cursor into an arrow, and I'm going to start where it is now, so I click it and a circle appears. That's the start point of my walk. Now what I'm going to do is click out in segments the route I want to follow, and you'll see each time I click I get a red dot and a blue line connecting, and that represents my track. As I'm doing this, the distance of the walk of the track so far and the height of ascent, the number of feet of height gain, are shown in the boxes on the left. So I can carry on clicking away and building up a route. Now at this point I may decide that I want to change the route that I've built up so far. So the way I do this is I can drag points by putting the cursor over the point. You'll see it says point selected. That means you've got it accurately on the point. Hold the left cursor button down and just pull it and move it to somewhere else if you want to alter the route, and at the same time the distance and the height of ascent have adjusted themselves. Final feature here is I can delete a point. I perhaps don't want this point anymore, so I hold the cursor over, point selected, left click, it asks me do I want to remove this point, yes, and that point's gone. And apart from removing points, you can put new points in. So if I wanted to insert a point here, I just hold the cursor over the line. You notice it turns to a hand with a finger. That means you've selected the line, left click, add a new point here, new draggable point, click OK, and a new point has appeared. And just to demonstrate, you can drag that point just as you can all the other points, and all the while the distance and the height of ascent of the walk have been updating themselves. Okay, I've carried on and extended the path, so now we've got a reasonably decent walk there. If you go back on the left hand side now, some extra buttons have appeared. If you finished the preparing the route, you can click freeze track, which will mean it can't be changed anymore, but we don't want to do that yet. You've got another couple of options. Toggle the line type. Now if you're wanting to print this out to go on a recce and you find the blue lines obscuring the details, if you click toggle line type, you'll notice now it's turned to a fainter blue line so that you can still see the route, but it doesn't obscure details so much. And I'll turn that back. And finally, you've got see track profile. Now by clicking this, we'll see the height profile of the walk. And each of the points that you clicked on the map is shown with a corresponding red point on the track profile. Now if you want to identify which point on the track profile is which point on the track you've drawn on the map, if you hold the cursor over the point, the corresponding point turns green on the track. And you'll have to believe me because I can't demonstrate this because I can't have the cursor in two places at once. And similarly, if you hold the cursor over a point on the track, the corresponding point turns green on the track profile. Again, it's impossible for me to show you this because I can't show enough of the screen at once. So there's our track profile. If I drag a point, the track profile has in fact adjusted itself now, and of course the height and the distance have adjusted themselves. I'm going to close the track profile. You can always open that and look at it at any time by using the track profile button. There's one feature that I haven't mentioned yet. You can right click on the mouse on the map. So I'm going to zoom out. There we are, there's my track, but I've zoomed out so it's at a smaller zoom level. And if I wanted to see some details at some point on the walk, if I right click, you'll see a new menu appears, and it's got an option at the bottom, Explorer View, at this point. And I'm going to click that, and on the right hand side now a small map has opened up, which is at Explorer 1 to 25 scale, which enables you to see the detail of that particular point. And I can drag that around just like any of the other maps. I can close that, go back to the original zoom level. Okay, well let's get this point back on the path. Shouldn't be up there on the road. Okay, I've finished that, preparing that short walk now. I can freeze it, and now the end of the walk has become a circle. So now zoom out. There's the whole walk. Circle at the beginning, circle at the end.